When Jan Liefhart found himself at home more last year, he rediscovered a hobby he'd put to one side back in 1993. It was then, aged in his 30s, that he took up flying, and his rock and roll days had to take a back seat.
I came to a T-junction. I had to choose, because obviously being a full-time pilot and in the weekend playing in a bar, always late, that was hard to combine. So I dropped the music. It was sad, but I had to make a choice.
Jan has been flying for NetJet since 2006 and is a captain on their Cessna Latitude, flying business people, investors and VIPs around the world. But like with the airlines, fewer people were travelling last year, leaving Jan at a loose end.
Flying was reduced due to COVID, and I realised I had to do something, because just sitting on the bench watching Netflix wouldn't cut it for me. That's how I started to produce a lot of material.
We're going to have a look at some of your tracks here, listen to some of your tracks here now. How would you describe your music? I mean, is it kind of soft rock or what is it?
That's a good question. I would say the core is progressive rock, but there is a strong influence from melodic rock. But I like to experiment as well and try to find interesting combinations with rhythm and melody.
The first track I want to show is Beats. And it's my favourite, partly because I love the video so much. So let's have a look at some of that.
Beats is a song, it's quite rocky, and I would say it's a bit inspired by the great Guns N' Roses. Fantastic guitarist in there, of course. He also plays a Les Paul, he's very famous. And yeah, that's how it came about. The video, it's done by my wife. She used to be a director of short videos. And we did it pretty close to here in Red Hill, on top of the hill. I had a little speaker in my pocket to hear the music. And of course, there was no real amplifier or cables, so it was just acting it. But it was great fun to do it.
Do you know what? It was really, I don't mean to be rude, but I laughed when I watched it.
I can imagine.
I don't know.
It is funny.
I don't know if that's the intention you have, because you have such a dry sense of humour. Yeah. You're quite difficult to read, and I wasn't sure if you were taking yourself seriously in that, or just rocking your tits off, basically.
Oh, basically rocking my tits off, and not too serious, because Beat is not a very serious track.
How many albums have you released in this last sort of 13 months or so?
In 2020 I released 2 albums. The first one was Albatross, it was in February, and in December it was 2020.
Some of your music is quite political. I know that from talking to you and looking at the titles and so on and some of the videos. I mean, how do you portray the meaning of the song if it's just an instrumental?
I try to express it somehow in the emotion, especially of the guitar melodies. The other thing I do is for every project, especially the ones that have like a deeper meaning, I create a page on my website. I give background pictures. I try to tell the listener who's interested like how I came about, what inspired me, like with the Black Lives Matter demonstrations, Greta Thunberg, the track about the environment. Yeah, I put some background.
Music has helped you through COVID, hasn't it?
Definitely. Absolutely. Because having something to do, having like a goal that keeps you going, it's an inspiration, it gives you energy, and mostly it gives you access to feeling positive, to feel it's worth it. It's a great help for your mental health, because obviously something like a lockdown is a threat for people for mental health. So yeah, I feel very fortunate to have been in this position and to have had this help, because it's great for your mental health.